The MMA world is about to heat up in the coming weeks, with fighters throwing strong statements at each other, really cranking up the tension. Here's exactly what Dricus Du Plessis said about Khamzat Chimaev, promising to go all in against the Chechen and literally go for the kill. We've also got Charles Oliveira's take on Michael Chandler, plus all the drama happening in the welterweight division. First, check out Dricus Du Plessis' intense statement about Khamzat Chimaev, saying that he's ready to set aside his fight with Sean Stricklan because he knows a battle against Chimaev would be an all-out war, and he's pumped about it. The Khamzat fight is definitely a big challenge. It's something I haven't seen before, it's the unknown. I guess in any fight that's the biggest factor is how strong is this guy? How hard does this guy hit? How deep into the deep waters is this guy willing to go? That's all the questions you're only getting one way, and that's in the fight. The guy Sean Stricklan, I've seen it all. I know what he can do. I felt his strength, his punches. I felt anything that he has to offer. So the Khamzat fight is a new challenge. It's a very big challenge, make no mistake. I think Khamzat is an incredible athlete. He's an incredible wrestler. He can strike. He's tough, and I would love to fight him. It would be absolute chaos if you look at our fights. It's gonna be absolute chaos. I don't see him coming in with a different game plan, and me neither. I'm going out there to attack. I'm going there to kill him. I'm not going out there to defend Khamzat's takedowns. I'm not going out there to defend. I'm going to attack. So I think it's gonna look a little bit different. If you look at the Gilbert Burns fight and the success he had against Khamzat, you don't win fights by defending. You win fights by attacking. Charles Oliveira also had strong words about Michael Chandler, promising to bring the fight the whole time, saying he's not going to back down at all. If Chandler wants to stand in front of him and start a war, Charles is ready to give him exactly that. Actually, he's the kind of guy who starts out really strong, so I think he's going to come in very solid. But I have a lot of power in my hands. If I hit, he knows he can feel it, so he'll respect that a bit. But I don't think his fighting style will change. He's a very aggressive guy. So it's on me to know how to play the game and how to move. That's why I said I'm not worried about what he'll bring, but more about what I'll bring to the octagon. We have to know how to pace the fight, to guide it like a dance. I want to win as quickly as possible, be in good shape, and get ready for the next fight. I want to move forward. In the last fight with him, I took some hits because I was stepping back, but this time I'm not backing up. If he stands there and wants to trade punches, then we'll trade, because I'm not going to step back anymore. I'll be looking for the fight the whole time. I want to win. I want to win for myself, for my family, for the birth of my son, to show him that his dad is a champion. I want to keep moving forward the whole time. It's about looking for the fight. I want to fight from start to finish. Charles also shared his thoughts on the fight between Jon Jones and Miocic, revealing who he's rooting for and whether he really believes Jon Jones is going to retire, as he's been hinting for months. I'm so happy to be a part of this card. And about the Jon Jones situation, I don't know if he's going to retire or not. But man, I'm a huge fan of Jon Jones. Whether he retires or not, I'll be there trying to sit front row to applaud him for everything he's done, for the fights he's given us. He's a giant. Every time I watch Jon Jones fight, he put on a great show, so I'm beyond happy to be part of this card and motivated with everything happening in my life. This is MMA we're talking about. Guys retire today and then come back 6 months later. But regardless of the fight, those are two giants, Jon Jones and Miocic, who deserve all the respect in the world for everything they've done in the cage. So if they both retire, fans around the world should be giving them a standing ovation for the history they've made. I respect Miocic a lot, but man, I'm a huge Jon Jones fan, so I really want him to win. I think Jon Jones is very strategic, so I believe he's going to come in with a plan to take the fight to the ground and make it happen. I really want him to win because I'm a fan, and I admire his work so much. The welterweight division is another one on fire. American Colby Covington didn't hold back and confidently stated that he wants to face Shavkat Rakhmonov for the title, saying that Shavkat would be an easy fight for him. I offered. I told the UFC that I was willing to step up to the plate. I would love to save the show and put on a good show for the fans. They pay their hard-earned money for big, mega fights. They need a mega fight. That's not a mega fight. They need someone who is going to put asses in seats and entertain people, so I was excited. I wanted the fight, and I asked for it, but I think they have other plans. I can walk him down and pressure him, and he's not going to like my pressure. He doesn't do very well with southpaws. We saw how he did with the busboy, Jeff Neal. That was a very competitive fight. He hasn't fought a top contender yet. He's fought some gatekeepers of the division, some guys on the cusp of the top 10, but he's never fought a champion like me. A guy who's going to come at him for 5 straight rounds and just walk him down. I match up well. He stands very tall. I don't see anything special with him. He has some good submissions. He's slick, but that's when he can control the wrestling. He's not going to control the wrestling on me, so I think I can beat him pretty easily, and I think it's a favorable fight, and it's a fight that I want in the future whether he wins or loses in December. Kamaru Usman also has his eye on a possible title fight, and after all the talk backstage, he decided to share his thoughts with MMA fans. The UFC is gonna call who they think is gonna be legit tough enough and man enough to step in there, is crazy enough to step in there on short notice, and go out there and possibly shock the world. Definitely the UFC knows who to call when that situation happens. And if they do give me a call, I'm gonna answer the call, get a couple things straight, and if we've got to do it, we've got to do it. I don't shy away from any of that. Max Holloway made MMA headlines not only after suffering a big knockout, but also for saying he's going up to lightweight, even calling out Dustin Poirier for a fight. However, Daniel Cormier doesn't see this request from Max as a great idea, and here's what he had to say. He's asking for Dustin Poirier. That would be absolutely fantastic. But is there a better way to introduce Max Holloway into the lightweight division? Do we put him in there with a Dustin for a third time? Or do we see what happens with Michael Chandler after he fights against Charles Oliveira? Or do we start to kind of look down the rankings a little bit and say, well, it would be fun to watch him fight a Rafael Fiziev. It would be fun to watch him fight a Benoit St. Denis. It would be fun to watch him fight a Paddy Pimblett. I know that might not be fun for Max, that might not be great for Max, but it would also give him an opportunity to work his way back into contention without being in there with these absolute killers. Because personally, I would like to see Max Holloway not stand across from Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Alexander Volkanovski, then Ilia Topuria. Something not as crazy of a challenge. Alright, folks, things are heating up in the MMA world, and the upcoming fights are going to be wild. But what about you? Who do you think wins at UFC 309? Charles Oliveira or Michael Chandler? And as for John Jones, do you think the American is really going to retire from MMA? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can chat. If you're a true MMA fan and want to stay in the know about everything happening in the fight world, be sure to check out these other 2 videos on screen. They're super important, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them and stay up to date with the latest MMA news. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help us out. We stand together, and see you next time.